Alright, let's get this started up. Hello, 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 and welcome to my hardcore Supernova Permadeath playthrough of the Outer Worlds. Yes, I did manage to fit 3 whole adjectives in, even though they're largely interrelated. Yeah. So we're playing the Outer Worlds, which is a Obsidian RPG that received a fair bit of hype when it came out. I think a lot of people kind of expected it to be, you know, Fallout New Vegas, but in space. And in short, it just didn't really live up to that. That's not really what it was. In many ways, it's a very different game with very different strengths and very different, yes, weaknesses. In many ways, it's not Fallout New Vegas. It doesn't have that kind of rich RPG dynamic that New Vegas had. It's really a one-of-a-kind game, almost. And the Outer Worlds just didn't live up. It didn't to that kind of pedigree, and that's no shame. I think, personally, that Fallout New Vegas is one of the greatest games of all time. I love it that much. But, I mean, the Outer Worlds does have merit on its own. I think, in many ways, because of what it was not, a little bit of what it is has been lost. I think in many ways it is a pretty awesome game. I think there's a lot of really likable aspects about it that I think have kind of been forgotten, and overall it kind of seems like the game itself has been forgotten. And I'm not sure that's quite fair, so I've decided to revisit it. I've decided to give it, another shake, another go, both for myself and maybe for the few people that might end up watching this someday. So yeah, we're going to play the Outer Worlds, and we're going to do a hardcore playthrough. What does that mean? Well, when we click New Game, you might see, we're going to be playing on Supernova mode. What does Supernova mode mean? Well, if you read the little text there, wink wink, you can see a little bit of it. So on one hand, it's pretty standard. Enemies have more health and deal more damage. You might recognize that from, almost every RPG ever. Almost any difficulty setting ever. That's pretty standard stuff. There's not really any unique shake there, and that's fine. Just a standard way to make the game a little harder. But the next few are really interesting. You must eat, drink, and sleep to survive. You'll see that less commonly, but, Fallout New Vegas veterans, hey, there it is. Might recognize that mechanic. It's kind of a survival mechanic. I love it. I think it's a great way to increase, here's the word, immersion. And just kind of add a level of difficulty, a level of thought, a level of caution. Great stuff. I think it makes it a much better experience. I think it's really cool. I think it's going to spice up the playthrough nice and well. Not as much as the next thing, though. Companions can die permanently. Capital P, permanently. Not actually in the text here, but I'm saying the capital P myself. Yeah. Companions can die permanently. What does that mean? Well, essentially, if the companion loses all health, pretty obviously that means they're dead. What does that mean for the playthrough? It means we keep trucking on. A companion dies, and keep in mind, by the way, that the companions are in many ways, I think, the best part of this game. I think they're pretty awesome. They add a lot of dynamics. They're useful, for one part. They give nice skill boosts. They're decent in combat. So, I mean, they're nice to have around, and I'm, in many ways, for my Supernova playthrough, I'm going to emphasize the fact that we'll have companions around. But yeah, they die, and we'll just keep going forward. That's it. That's it. That's all we can do. We're doing permadeath also, so if I die, it's over, it's done. No reloading or anything, it's just flat out zip zero zilch. We're starting over, which is gonna be fun, I imagine. But with companions, if they die, we'll just try to keep going, which will be very sad and very tragic, and hopefully maybe even add, certainly a level of caution for me as I play through the game, but also maybe a level of tragedy, which, who knows? Maybe that'll spice up the dynamic a little bit. I can speak words good. Alright, we'll go through the other ones real quick, and then we'll actually get into the game itself, since I'm sure people don't want to hear me talking too much. Crippled body and limb conditions can only be healed with bed rest. That's pretty self-explanatory. There's a mechanic in the game, similar to Fallout New Vegas, where you can actually cripple your limbs. You can't heal it in combat, nor does it heal naturally in this mode. You have to go to bed. Which you can only do in your ship. We can go straight to that one. You can only sleep inside your ship. I don't personally like that one. I think you should be able to sleep in any bed in the world, but whatever. Weapons and armor work very poorly at 0 durability. That's the next one. That's a good one. I think I like that. It emphasizes the repair ability, which, as I recall from my other playthrough, it was nice, but it wasn't too important. You can only fast travel to your ship. I'm actually glad that they gave us this. oftentimes in like survival modes, you know, it'll be you cannot fast travel at all. And in many ways that's kind of cool, in many ways that's kind of tedious. I think only being able to go to your ship is a decent bargain between that, so I like that idea. And finally, you can only manually save while inside your ship, and autosaves are limited. Limited, not gone. I like that. I think that's a good balance. You know, you're still scared of death. Obviously, we're not scared of death, but we're very much afraid of the game crashing, which I don't think is totally likely, but certainly possible. We would not like that, so I think it's a cool little mechanic. We're not going to be worried so much about, like, saving and dying, because obviously our plan is not to die, but I like that generally for the difficulty. So yeah, we're going to choose Supernova. I'll give you guys subtitles in case there's some audio problem. Hopefully it doesn't matter too much. And just in case, we'll bump up the text size one. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm going to shut up for a second, and y'all enjoy the little intro cinematic, which I think is pretty fun.
Your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Just gonna slide this mouse over there. Sorry.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
And here we go. We're going to start off with a bit of character creation, which brings us to the interesting question of what exactly our survival, hardcore, permadeath, supernova character is going to be. And there's a few points of emphasis here. First, obviously, for our combat style, we're going to be using a bit of stealth, long range when we do get in combat. Otherwise, we'd like to be avoiding combat, generally. I think that's generally a good idea. Stay away from combat. So yeah, but what are we going to emphasize for the purpose of keeping us alive and keeping our companions alive? Well, I think the big one is going to be temperament for us. That is a lot of health regeneration. Now, I mean, it'll kind of decrease in use as the game goes on, but it's bumping determination, which is the companion health attribute, or skill rather. And that's all very good. And like the health regen, it'll always be like somewhat useful. It might decline a bit as we just get more health, but I think this idea is still very good. And then also we want very high perception. Bonus to extra headshot and weak spot damage. I think that's generally going to do it. There's going to be an emphasis on tactical time dilation in this mode, emphasis on stealth, trying to hit those weak spots as much as possible. I think this is the highest damage bonus we can really get. There's also a temptation to do 35% critical damage, which is itself interesting. But I generally prefer perception. So yeah, I think we're just going to go with that one. Otherwise, there is a little bit of temptation to knock down another one. You could do strength, for example. But I don't want to do it for any of these. I think these are pretty damaging. Charm, you can make an argument for. The real negative here, I think for combat at least, is companion ability refresh. The faction reputation sucks, but it's perhaps not too damaging, and then I could say go and put this into intelligence. which I might actually consider. We are going to be using companions, and I do actually like the skills. Charm takes away, Persuade, Lie, Intimidate, Act, Science, Inspiration are all actually pretty good skills. I want those. For some obvious reasons, some not so obvious reasons. But the general effects of the attribute aren't so bad. Perhaps instead we'll do a little bit of that. I don't think we need strength too much, we're using companions. And then dexterity is nice mostly. I mean, some of the skills are pretty good, but the reload speed is, you know, something very nice to have, obviously. But I don't think it's going to be so much of an emphasis. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I'm no expert on the game or anything. I guess I should make that clear. But this is kind of just how I see it. I might be completely off base, but I think this is the best way for us to survive. We'll go with this. This will be fun. Alright, now for skills, I'll tell you exactly one we're going to take for sure. Leadership, you see that determination? Do you see that plus 304 companion health? Plus 203 companion health. Now, is it the end of the world? Is the 100 extra points such a big difference? Maybe not such a big difference, but it's a difference. It is a difference. Let's make that clear. And the other one's a little tricky. I think dialogue has a lot of temptation to take early, though none of the really hard dialogue checks come early. You know, you'll have time to go up a few levels before dialogue comes up, as I recall. And like, once again, companions can really help with this. Usually they'll have at least one. A lot of the times you have the choice between intimidating, lying, or persuading. I actually think we're going to take tech, because some of the tech skills here, you can see once you get to 20, naturally, you unlock some stuff, and I think for science in particular, we're not going to be able to get on the first one, but that's okay, we don't have much money at the start anyway. Tinkering is how you improve your weapons and armor at the workbench, and that's going to be very important for us as we just try to get an edge up on the early game. You know, get that damage curve ahead of where Supernova mode would normally be, at least where it'd regularly be expected, keep the damage curve down for us with armor. I think that'll keep us safe. Now, obviously, stealth is some temptation too, but in my experience, stealth is not itself too dangerous. I'd obviously like the sneak attack. You can make a very real argument to getting that, but I just think until level 2, it won't take. We're obviously going to take that to get that up to that level 20, but I'm not so worried between level 1 and level 2, so I think we'll be fine there. Let's keep pushing. These are all very minor. It's more so like a roleplay thing. I'm probably just going to take the determination one, which is just the no discernible aptitude. Hopefully that's all coming through here. You can make a good argument for like the shock damage received, or like the damage received one, I think, basically. That might keep you alive in certain circumstances. I mean, like, plasma damage received. But we'll just go with determination. That might be wrong. I'm sure that's not, like, ideal, but hey. I never said I was going to be playing ideal. I'm just saying I'm doing the best I can, you know? Alright, now moving on to character creation. I have something in mind, to say the least. Good, strong American character with a good, strong American name. You'll see. You shall see. Alright, that's a good start. And then the hair color, I believe for the hair, it's 39. Yep. Facial hair. Yeah, 39. It's the same. Alright, features. Age. We want to bump the age a little bit. A bit of an older gentleman, you know? I wonder if any of you can actually see it before I reveal what the name is. I'm curious. It's actually related to the game's moral messaging, which we'll get to later, I suppose. I just want eye color. Yeah. The last one. I'm not going to go in depth on this at all. That's about right. What's the name? I said it's a good, strong American name? Well, it's Carl. I can type. Marks. What's more American than the name Carl? Marks. That's standard. Mark. Everyone's heard Mark. So yeah. Nice, strong, American name. Alright, and this is what we're going with. We didn't take any decreases, mostly because I'm a scared little chicken. I'm sure we could have. I think there's a real argument to knock charm down. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what we're going to go with. I think we want temperament high. I like having intelligence high. So yeah, let's push forward.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
He has just awoken the specter of communism. Oh dear.
Not likely, Booker.
Oh dear.
Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 11%. Skip drive.
Shit.
inoperable.
About sums it up, yeah.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably
Not at all ominous.
and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction.
Pleasant.
Oh, yes.
He's just not, what's it? Spaghettification? The black hole thing? I think that's it. I vaguely remember
I guess we'll see.
9th grade Earth science.
Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical
I guess
supplies
physics,
to
too.
do. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck.
Boop. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. I like the game's little intro. I think it's pretty charming. I like Phineas a lot as a character. And the game's got a pretty nice start. I think like the little intro area we're about to get into, it's perhaps a bit smaller, more constraining than a lot of people might like.
You hear me?
We'll get into that a bit more later, but I generally like it. Okay, there's a little visual glitch going on here. I don't know why. Let's all agree that it's part of the immersion. You know, it's kind of like how when Doc, like at the start of Fallout New Vegas, when Doc Mitchell's head rotates around, how it kind of made sense in a way because he just woke up from being shot in the head. You know, this isn't an escape pod or a shuttle or something. It probably doesn't have the best connection. It makes sense. Just don't think about it too much. Just don't think about it too much.
Should be close by.
Alright, we should find him. Ah! Found him!
Is that him? Oh, that idiot.
I find that very funny, by the way. I thought that was...
Not stand there holding it.
I wonder what that is. I actually don't know.
No sense in letting his ship go
No,
to
I
waste.
think that's a very funny way to start the game. Like, you set up the whole Hawthorne idea of, like, this charming smuggler. And he's just pancaked under your escape pod.
Left of the bounty on my head.
Pretty funny stuff.
The whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Yeah, it is a pretty nasty way to go. Though, I mean, I will say, it's at least probably pretty quick. Which means, like, there are probably worse ways to go, if we're being honest. You know, like, for example, being eaten alive. That would probably be pretty unpleasant, just a hunch. You know, not that I can speak from experience, nor can anyone who's been eaten alive really speak from experience. But maybe there's people who have been, like, half eaten alive. I don't want to get into this too much. Oh dear. Morbid stuff. KSS stuff.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Thanks. I do. What that? I mean, that's a little gameplay effect. It's part of the core experience. The excuse they give for why it happens is I find quite funny. But for a very specific reason.
You've tried the best now.
Try the
Now
rest.
try the rest.
Spacer's choice.
Oh,
Mistimed it, but I got the words down. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll patch you up, buddy. You look rough.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside
Just
help.
refer it to kind of like us as like a spiritual aid. You know, I'm not necessarily, physically patching you up, but it's just more so the benevolence in my presence. Just like you, the viewer, feel right now. How you doing, buddy?
Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some adrenochrome.
Or worse,
We were out of
expelled.
control. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right?
Really depends on
Just
who's
barely
firing the
survived
gun,
alive.
if we're being
Crawled in
honest.
here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Good point there, but we won't. He seems to be having a bad day already. We won't push the issue.
Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is.
Of course it is.
Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders.
That is probably
See
true,
those
yeah.
canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
I get the gist of the idea you're going for and taking them all out with like one shot, but I think what's actually gonna happen is it's gonna kill you too. So, I mean, on one hand, it was pretty successful. On another hand,
Yeah, okay.
kablooey.
You know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction.
You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. God.
Yes, nailed it that time.
Ah, God, he's better than me at it. Yeah, where am I?
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale.
Probably.
We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Alright. Now we're gonna take all his emergency goods. Let me do it. Alright. Just take your losses. Sometimes you just gotta accept your losses, you know? You know what? Maybe it wasn't such a bad idea.
Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the... This...
There it is. Tactical time dilation. Now, why do we have tactical time dilation? Well, it's a side effect of cryosleep or something. That's basically it. Yeah, that's why. No one else has it. Just us. Just us. Tactical genius right here. Watch this. Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat of a, strategic genius. I saw the explosive barrel. I shot the explosive barrel. Not many people can say that, actually. You know, it takes a real mind to figure out how to use one of those barrels. Not everyone can do it. Yeah, we absolutely do not want to pick that open. Wow. Pricey. Alright. This one should be a little more interesting. Alright, sorry, just lining up my shot. Alright, that did not go horribly. We can be honest with each other. It also didn't go great, but it did not go horribly. So that we got that going for us. So that's good. Ah. Interesting blend of fashion there. Not sure it's the best look for our boy, but you know. Carl ain't a fancy man. Alright, we'll break those down for good old repair parts, or weapon parts, rather, which function as repair parts for weapons. So I wasn't entirely wrong. In fact, one could say I was more correct. I could say I was more correct. Alright, let's get going.
Get over here before you get yourself killed.
I'm doing fine.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators.
Or worse,
Skull on that rung,
expelled.
landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing
Ugh.
pad. I'd slap
The
you in the
gall
face
of some
for all these
people.
marauders shambling about.
That tends to be a barrier between effective parking tickets, roving marauders. True, but you know, she's not gonna take well to that. Yeah, we'll let her know about the guy.
Really? How is he?
I believe I said I'd go get him some help. That's rude.
Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive.
As
rentals
mentioned,
from
it was
off-brand
more of a
physicians.
spiritual
Sitting back
healing.
to Edgewater. Just as soon as I crossed
The
these marauders
soothing
off with a
tones
swift,
of my
cost-efficient
voice
fury that's made Spacer's
brought
Choice the
him,
most trusted
revived
brand in
him,
personal defense. I just
healed
yeah,
what ailed him,
need
you
a couple
know?
of winks to catch my breath, stretch my legs.
Oh, I see how it is. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Well, okay. I bet you could get those marauders to tell you that. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I bet they've been here longer than you have. There's a chance they saw where the captain went. Perhaps they even scared him off. You could ask them.
You think? Most marauders can't even
Oh.
talk. The criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature.
That works too. Let's go with that.
You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
That's a hell of a speech.
Here we go.
You know, according to the lore of Calvin and Hobbes, a lamination's worth like a full grade point up, so that's a big deal, you know? That's an A- to- Oh my god! Holy shit! Holy shit! I did not expect them to just die! I feel bad. I should have helped. I think they just die. Holy shit. Look, is that my fault? In many ways, yes. I didn't think they'd die. Oh my god. Wow. Alright, there's something over there. Well, I mean, it is true that the Marauders did it. I had nothing to do with that. Oh, wow. She gave such a good speech, too.
Be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Worth it. Worth it. Alright. Absolutely want that. And we'll take... So, like, that to your junk. Just, like... Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. Alright. All done. We got an assault rifle. Which is fun.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime.
Yeah.
I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel.
Hey,
Please be
Ada.
informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors.
But
Please return any misappropriated equipment.
I am
and
supposed to
exit
be
this
here.
vessel in an orderly fashion.
I did steal the
Failure to
assault
do so
rifle, that
will
is
result in
correct.
your immediate destruction.
Whoa! Simmer down, simmer down. I'm not here to misappropriate anything besides a singular light assault rifle.
I detect an elevated heart rate.
Ah, she knows.
Indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal.
Oh god, she knows.
Transfer procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject
Oh no.
all parties.
Not the airlocks.
3,
Oh no. Oh no.
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get this ship in the air. Let's get to business.
I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Slight problem there.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty.
I pride myself on my honesty.
Exclusively from Captain Hawthorne.
Recall, when I'm gonna have a bad combat or two, I'm gonna be honest about my performance. Yeah. I get it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne.
A little bit of casual identity theft on a Monday.
Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable.
Ugh.
Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing.
Mm-hmm.
The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
That's a good point.
Astutely observed.
Seems like a pretty hard thing to find.
The possibility of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators.
Counterpoint. Won't they need the power regulator? Just an idea.
Taking the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not
Look
to
at me.
use it this time.
Look at me.
This cartridge
I'm the captain now.
Alex Hawthorne as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Completely. I got it, yeah.
Good luck in your search for a power
Look,
regulator.
in general,
Try to stay alive this time.
from my experience with sci-fi literature and fiction, the best policy is usually to be nice to the AI. Alright, maybe not AI, but just be nice to them. Generally. They can open the airlocks, and we won't always be on the ground. Alright. We're able to level up, but we're not going to do that right now. Instead, we're going to do that next time. See you then.